So, I just watched episode 4 of Starfleet Academy. I know I'm super behind, but I've been busy. And I think it may be the best episode of Star Trek I've seen since the TNG Voyager DS9 era. When I think back on my favorite episodes of Star Trek, I keep coming back to two episodes, The Drumhead and The Measure of a Man. These are episodes that aren't just about action and space exploration or the alien of the week. These episodes explore how the Federation ideals hold up when put under pressure from within. The Drumhead asks the question, what happens when a society that values freedom begins to sacrifice individual rights for the security of the Federation? The Measure of a Man asks the questions, are rights universal or are they conditional on biology or convenience? In both of these episodes, the Federation threatens its own ideals by attempting to take actions out of convenience that ignore those ideals. And both episodes also make excellent use of a monologue to make the final point at the end, where Picard defends the ideals of the Federation against internal pressures to compromise them. Now, I'm going to do something that I'm sure will be very unpopular, and I'm going to put Starfleet Academy Episode 4, Vox In Excelso, in the same category as these two classic episodes. Episode 4 is another excellent example of Federation values being challenged, except this time the question is not, will we defend our values when they come under fire, but instead it is, do we have the right to impose those values on others? In this episode, we learn of the effect that the burn had on the Klingon Empire, and those of us who have not finished Discovery yet learned what the burn was. It rendered all refined dilithium inert, causing all active dilithium reactors to explode. Because of their heavy reliance on dilithium reactors on their planets, Kronos and all other Klingon-inhabited worlds were destroyed and left uninhabitable. The Klingon race is now considered endangered, with only 8 houses left in existence, scattered around the sector. With no homeworld, they're dying off. It's only a matter of time before this once great race is gone for good. The Federation, never shy about knowing what's best for everyone else, has found a planet that would be suitable for the remaining Klingons to colonize. The problem is, the Klingons have pride and honor and do not accept charity. They would rather die than owe their existence to the help of the Federation. And the Federation would rather force the Klingons to relocate to the planet they have chosen for them than let them die off on their watch. As Starfleet's only Klingon cadet, Jaden is unwillingly put at the center of the discussion when a ship carrying his family is thought to have been destroyed, pushing the Klingon people one step closer to extinction. Instead of shying away from it, he asks that the question of whether or not the Federation should oppose its solution on the Klingons be debated by the cadets, with him arguing against the plan that could save his people. The episode is interspersed with clips of his last days with his family as he revisits the death of his brother and his failure to live up to the demands of his culture, resulting in his being abandoned by them to join Starfleet. Throughout the episode, Jaden is overwhelmed with inner conflict. This episode stands out not only because it tackles a significant question about the ideals and ethics that the Federation stands for, but because it anchors that debate in one of the most compelling character studies I've seen in Star Trek. Jaden is shown early on in the series to be a timid character despite his Klingon heritage. He avoids conflict, he's terrified of public speaking, and he has a hard time articulating and defending his position on issues that matter to him. And because of this, his friends assume that he needs to be handled with caution and protected from the reality of what's happening to his people. They jump in to defend him and fight his battles for him, but he does not want this. He wants to stand up for himself. Over the course of this episode, Jaden, who does not believe that he's worthy to be called a warrior, shows true strength. A lesser version of himself might have withdrawn, avoided the truth, and let others manage the crisis. Choosing to confront the situation instead of letting his friends handle it for him is an act of courage worthy of a warrior. When the Federation suggests forcing the remaining Klingons onto a new world for their survival, the moral dilemma becomes clear for Jaden. Survival at all costs versus cultural dignity and honor, even in the face of extinction. Jaden understands something others don't. For Klingons, survival with honor isn't survival at all, and perhaps most importantly for his character growth, he doesn't just feel this, he articulates it. He overcomes his fear of public speaking and his difficulty expressing himself because this is something he's truly passionate about. Jaden embodies the central question of the episode, is survival enough if it means losing your identity? And in arguing this, he found his identity. He stands before his fellow cadets and the leaders of Starfleet and tells them the thing that he understands but they do not. He says, "Battle is the language we use to honor each other. It is the way we first became one. The
The Federation will do better to humble themselves and learn to hear our language as it is spoken. Therefore, I suggest a Klingon solution to a
Klingon problem. This is the second time in 4 episodes when humility is the answer for Starfleet. They are no longer the dominant power in the quadrant, and it is not by chance that these answers are being found with the help of the cadets, the next generation of Starfleet. Starfleet Academy is training these cadets to be the future of the Federation. But what kind of Federation will they lead? Captain Nala leads a fleet of ships to Fawn Alpha, where she contacts the Klingons and gives them an ultimatum. They must withdraw from the area, and if they choose to try and take Fawn Alpha, they will have to do so by force. She gives the Klingons the chance to take by force what they would never accept as a gift. What remains of the Klingon fleet is no match for the Federation ships, and the Federation ships are instructed to miss their targets. The Klingons win the battle, maintain their honor, and claim Fawn Alpha as their new homeworld. A Klingon solution to a Klingon problem. So the big question now is, was it still unethical to trick the Klingons into settling Fawn Alpha by faking a battle? And my answer would be no, for reasons touched upon in the episode. Klingon society is built on myth, legend, and symbolism, and on top of that, the Klingons may be stubborn and bound by an unhealthy obsession with honor, but they're not stupid. I believe that they knew full well what was happening, but this battle gives them a story of conquest to build the lore of this new world around. Thanks for watching. Time for me to go watch episode 5.